Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. More Birthright here as we keep working our way through the Canasi realms. Today we got a different one, and that is Rhuannach, a actual elf realm in the Canasi territories. Chaotic good, so it is available for players. Not a huge realm. We get 4 provinces, and they're all pretty low as far as settlement goes, right? We got a 1, a couple 2s, and a couple 3s, but plenty of magical potential as always. Law, there's not much there, but as we'll see, that's not really needed. There are temples there, surprising for an elf realm, guild activity, and different source holders there. So let's jump in here. It's not a huge entry. The elves of Rhuannach once enjoyed the friendship of nearby Canasi states, but with the conquest of western Marisaf by the Iron Hand Orogs and the fall of Jira, enemies have nearly surrounded the elves. Now they're hard-pressed to defend their beloved forests from the advance of the Black Spear Raiders and the forces of the Lamia, whose domain lies just to the north. So it's become home to the survivors of Old Jira. About 20% of the High Lady subjects are actually humans, so very rare for Birthright, so you already have something unique here. Those Jirans have come to understand elven ways and gladly acknowledge the High Lady's power. In return for the right to live in the forest, they act as the first line of defense against the encroachment of the Black Spear tribes. So an actual human and elf sort of society working together here. Again, very rare, if virtually non-existent in Birthright. So again, something truly unique here. The High Lady of Rhuannach has lost control of her northern borders due to humanoid raids, but retains the loyalty of the human-held provinces of the south. She concentrates her rule in the central portions of her forest. Again, not much law there, and as you can see on the map, when you look at it, right, yeah, it just makes sense. So some of the provinces have kind of fallen out of her direct control due to the raiding, but she still controls where it's needed. Medina El Wasir, a level 7 priestess, lawful good and very minimal bloodline, maintains the last holdings of the Jiran Temple of Lyra in southern Rhuannach, which would explain the whole temple presence there. No elves belong to the temple, of course, but the Jiran refugees do. Now, the guilds, as elves care little for material trade, no true guild holdings exist in Rhuannach. Instead, these holdings represent forest creatures and allies of the elves who will spy for the High Lady or aid her in times of trouble. The Jirans occasionally trade with the Kozlovs, but refuse to deal with the Joffrins. So, you have that. Now, I'm surprised that they don't let the humans that are still here do a little bit of trading as well, but something that could be developed. The Court Wizard of Rhuannach, Kael Corwin, level 13 wizard, huge, of course, power level there, and a pretty solid bloodline, counted good, is a mage of the highest caliber, naturally. However, the Lamia's wizard has seized some sources on Rhuannach's border and now challenges him for control of the elven state. So, as we can see, right, he doesn't necessarily have everything, but there is that level 3 and a 4 that are now sort of wrested away from them. So the Lamia is definitely a threat. Oops. Now, the Regent, High Lady Fiona Bragg Garrett Hwyn, is another level 13 wizard, so they've got some potent spellcasters here. Also chaotic good, has ruled Rhuannach since her husband, High Lord Dagandal, fell in battle against the Black Spear tribes 30 years ago. Sometimes called the Sad Queen, she mourns her lost husband still. Those who meet her remember her beauty and silent tears the rest of their days. Her compassion and courage have made a great impression on all who dwell within her domain, and the elves of Rhuannach possess mercy and kindness not often found in their race. At the same time, they will fight fiercely to defend their lands against creatures of darkness that threaten the forests, as would make sense. Other important NPCs, while the elves have a much greater tolerance for humans than elves elsewhere, they still like to keep their distance. Meetings between elf and human remain brief and polite, and most elves choose to avoid the western and southern regions. Acting as a bridge between elf and human is a half-elf ranger named Sidra Bint Corina, which is level 6 ranger. Again, tainted bloodline there, but chaotic good nonetheless. The daughter of a Jiran Ajazada and an elf lord. She finds herself welcome in the lady's court and enjoys helping her understand humans. So, again, a very rare bridge between the two species and cultures there. Now, the description here, every bit as beautiful as the elf realm of Inishir, Rhuannach was never closed to humans. In centuries past, its rulers permitted a single road through their portion of the Rhuannach to link Marisaf and Jira. Of late, it's become disused and overgrown, though. Something that could be maybe brought back to its former splendor. The capital lies in the province of Glencairn, on the southern shores of the lake, called Rhuannach. The sad queen's court is nothing more than an open glade beneath the stars, surrounded by stands of magnificent trees of all kinds. Elf artisans, songmakers, and warriors gather each night to pursue their various trade. They conceal their homes and workshops in dense groves or in lantern-lit halls beneath the hills. Interesting for the elves there. So, as we said, it's one that's available for players. Doesn't really give us any sense of like any standing armies or unfortunately like starting gold or starting regency, something again probably to work out with a DM. It's just again a short entry here, but a unique in the potential for again the sort of merging between humans and elves here. So could be something where maybe the humans would count as a couple of units of maybe militia, probably shouldn't be levies necessarily, but maybe a little bit of both, or irregulars I should say is what we use in this game. The elves should certainly have a couple of elven units present as well, but really the big thing would be reestablishing control over the other portions of the domain, and then also trying to battle the Lamia for the magical control of the domain. So certainly with the two level 13 wizards here, depending on who's playing what, you got access to realm spells and certainly should be able to work some powerful magic there. Now, if you're just adventuring in here, again, it's wonderful adventuring opportunity because, again, Birthright is so unique in that the elves really, in general, hate the humans. There's not that much cooperation. But here you have a realm that blends both, and that really could present players with some wonderful opportunities there, and maybe just, again, reestablishing some lost ties and powers and other sort of former glories. So, and plenty of enemies abound, essentially to throw some good old hack and slash at the players, but also just, again, establishing some greater goals. So a fun little realm, unique in Birthright, but let us know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe as well, and if you want to support the channel, check us out on our Patreon. You get videos like this early, and other things that we're working on as well for Birthright and other D&D settings. So check back there occasionally, and thanks so much for watching.